I grew up in Kasturba Nagar, a slum in central India where the ditches are filled with sewage and there's little hope and much poverty. You know, people were sitting or walking around in the slums with no arms. They're just with their elbows walking in the sewage, in the piles and piles of stuff. Most of the slum dwellers are untouchables. We call them the achut, the lowest of Indians' castes. Growing up, I was fearless. I was educated, you see. My ambitions collided with that of a higher caste man called Yaku Adab. He was an avara, a small thug, who rose to be a mobster king in the slum, who robbed, he tortured, he killed, with no regard whatsoever, amounting to a gang of hoodlums. Because the slums were filled with untouchables, the authorities kept on looking the other way. Instead of murder, he threatened rape to anyone who dared stand up to him, which required bribes by the police. Rape stigmatizes victims. It leaves them sexually humiliated, a fear which controls our community. Yeah, Sache. It's true. Neighbors, of course, told me he once raped a woman after a wedding. I don't know, Petanahi. Another woman called Asho, she was tortured in front of her daughters. They cut off her breasts and sliced her into pieces on the streets. Another woman, her name was Kalma, she was gang raped 10 days after giving birth. Of shame, she covered herself in kerosene and burnt herself. Ancha burned herself to death. Ancha, really, this was it. Aku's gang didn't care. They pulled a woman 7 months pregnant from her home. They stripped her naked and raped her in public view. Sabke samne. The police didn't show us any mercy. They didn't show no mercy to untouchables. They didn't do anything. Those who reported Aku's gang to the police they were arrested. One woman reported she'd been gang raped. The police responded by gang raping her. The police. You see, I knew my family was educated. My family was very educated. And was aware that this would allow us more power to complain, so they usually left us alone. But look, Mujhe Maragaya hai. They hurt me too, they beat me up too. Look. He demanded money from our next door neighbors, trashing their home, threatening them to kill them. When we told our neighbors to report this, of course, they would not. They wouldn't. They were scared. So what happened was that my mother and I did it because we were educated. I remember once Aku and 40 of his thugs came to our home with acid. They were threatening to scar us unless we retracted complaint. Aku vividly described how he would rape, burn, and slaughter us. Rape us, slaughter us, throw acid in our face. When they tried to batter down the door, I threatened to light a cooking gas cylinder, killing us all. They backed away. That people realized that if my educated family was overcome, there was no hope. Kuchinayo sakte, no hope. I remember a crowd formed. They were throwing sticks and stones at the gang. They went to Aku's house. They did. They went to Aku's house. And Aku was arrested. And they burnt his house down, and he was arrested for his own protection. He was arrested for his own protection. A bail hearing was set many miles from the slums. You know what? Hundreds and hundreds of women marched there to attend. When Aku Aku, when he spotted a woman in the courtroom. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? He mocked her. He had actually raped that woman. He mocked her, and he shouted he would rape her again. He would rape her again. She rushed forward and she hit him. She hit him with her slippers. With this, the dam broke, and all the women from the slums surrounded Aku. They threw chili powder in the eyes of the guarding police. They produced knives. And with knives, we produced, and from under their clothes, and they stabbed him. He begged for forgiveness as each woman took a turn in stabbing him once. I hope that down there, everyone will see this. Everyone will know where we're coming from. Because it's an embarrassment, you know.
Well, what's it?
That's a little
really?
weird. What do you mean?
Well, there was the headlines, and check this out.
Nice! Shimona! Ooh. No, she's keeping walking. She's not stopping. She's not stopping.
Hey, pussycat!